Welcome to Masterpiece Tarot. Here you'll find timeless messages to guide your soul's awakening. If you're here, trust you are meant to be. You can support my channel by liking, sharing, and subscribing. This helps support my mission of creating more peace on earth. All right. I'm going to get some messages here. We'll start with a general message from Spirit. Spirit, thanks for using me as a channel to bring through these messages for the highest good of the collective. What is it that you would like to share today, Spirit? A message of warning. Okay, a message of warning. Let's see what that's all about, shall we? A message of warning. I've slowly been making a few little adjustments here to my little new space. I'm liking it. And it feels like a good space. I'm debating on the green. Part of me wants to make it a warmer color. We'll see. It's a lot of work to paint the walls, you know. Okay. Whoa. A message of warning, Spirit. Please bring through clear messages for the collective. Hermit. Okay, we've got somebody here who's spending some time in solitude, kind of in search of wisdom, looking to alchemize some experiences. The opportunity is the Three of Cups. I think this might be a warning to somebody who has been spending a lot of time in Hermit. Maybe this is about not spending too much time in Hermit, keeping the balance, right? Because the opportunity is to spend time with like-minded people. Okay, get into a social group, spend some time with friends, family, loved ones, that sort of thing. What's a challenge here? The sun. The moon. I don't know why. The moon, okay. Well, there's a sense maybe that the hermit still feels like they're searching for more knowledge, more understanding. It might still feel like nighttime inside of this person that we're reading for. The action to take, Seven of Pentacles. Okay, persevere. I think that's the message here. Spirit wants you to persevere with wherever you find yourself. Let's get some clarifying messages here. All right, Spirit. We are looking at somebody here who has been spending a lot of time going within, maybe has been a bit withdrawn from their normal social circles. There may also be a sense that there's a shift. As you know, sometimes as people level up or grow, social dynamics can change and evolve. And so I feel like something like that might be happening here. Tell us a little bit more about the Hermit. We have a Hierophant. We have a Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. And an Ace of Cups. I think we might be talking about somebody who has in the past made strides toward building something in the material. It could be a relationship, but it might also be like education, career, you know, that sort of thing. But with the Hierophant card here, it's almost like there's some kind of wisdom that's trying to come through, maybe from a mentor or from the higher self. It's a message to do with an Ace of Cups. So it might be a message saying, you know, if you're in Hermit because you're feeling unworthy from the standpoint of a financial standpoint, there's a suggestion here, maybe coming through with that Hierophant energy, to actually look at the love in your life, the connections, and to recognize that there may be more abundance in this area available to you now, and that, that might actually help foment or cultivate the ground necessary to maybe return to that idea that you had for building something in the material world and be more successful. This could also be just about, loving yourself, right? So if there's a sense that this person is isolating themselves because they're not feeling worthy on some level, then I think, again, it's a suggestion to pour more love into self and be a little bit more compassionate towards self. Okay, tell us more about the Three of Cups, this opportunity, Spirit. The Wheel of Fortune. A Two of Cups. And an Ace of Swords. Wow. So just like what we were just saying, focusing more on connection at this time, and this is really, these cards are confirming that idea. The action to take as we allow this wheel to turn, as we move toward our fate and our destiny, we're thinking about partnering with people. Okay, so it could be that you might meet somebody important through a social networking or a group function, a party, a gathering of some kind. There might be a Two of Cups for you. You might be meeting somebody who could potentially be a really good partner at an event. And with the Ace of Swords, it's like, for somebody who's been hermiting for a long time, this might seem like a completely novel concept. I mean, we never really lose our social skills if we step back for a while. But it might feel like, if you have gone through profound change, that, stepping back into the world in a way could feel like, revolutionary in some way, because you're bringing these transformed parts of yourself into these dynamics. So the opportunity is to focus on building in the area of connection. Why is the Moon card here a challenge, Spirit? Why is the Moon card a challenge for this Hermit energy? King of Cups, there's that loving nature again. We have a Five of Pentacles and a Three of Swords. I think there are deep wounds here around love that are still being tended to. There is a sense maybe that somebody was abandoned. It could even be like childhood abandonment wounds here that we can see. Maybe from a father figure, somebody who's supposed to be there to love and nurture you and, hold that place as a healthy masculine role model. There's a sense maybe that there are wounds around that, something separated you from your father. Maybe your father chose to leave, something like this. And there are unhealed wounds, things that you're still working on around masculinity, perhaps, past relationships that maybe have failed with the Three of Swords. And, some of these emotions that you have around whatever this wound is that you're now looking at, it can be challenging as we're really confronting and facing some of this long buried pain and some of these patterns of relating to others. This can be very, very difficult, and sometimes it can be hard to compartmentalize, the pain that we're going through when we're in an introspective space, sort of tucking that away and showing up in social situations and sort of, acting normal. I mean, we all know that's goofy and silly. Like, it's always okay to be your authentic self, but you don't want to be a Debbie Downer, right? I mean, I have certainly experienced that. Like, not sure if I can muster the happy, cheerful, positive person that I would prefer to show up as. Too many fell out. Okay, let's clarify this Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles. We have a Six of Swords. We now have a King of Pentacles and a Seven of Cups. This is the action to take. So we've got a couple sevens here. 7, 7. This is a theme. This has been coming out in my readings. The Seven of Pentacles, again, it's about patiently building something, being patient as that progresses, whatever it is. If it's emotional growth, spiritual growth, self-knowledge, the Hermit is, obviously taking time to look within, build wisdom. And so then here we see what we see here. I think maybe what we're seeing here with these cards is it's a refrain, like like in music, it's like this thing we come back to, this theme here in this reading. So we're talking about a father wound, talking about why the Hermit might be needing to focus more on love and healing the emotional body at this time. And here we see somebody who's building, building, building. And abundance can be material, it can be wealth, but it can also be our emotional balance. It can be anything, really, anything that we're working on, putting energy and time into. And I think, Spirit's reminding this masculine or this Hermit energy here to keep moving toward those calmer waters. Okay, we see that they're looking here. There's this King of Pentacles and there's this Seven of Cups. And I almost feel like this might represent this father figure who was absent. Okay, this is a King of Pentacles, very abundant, very focused on the material world. And then we see this options. So this could be a father figure who perhaps was single, perhaps who wasn't faithful to the mother, the wife. This could represent the father figure who maybe abandoned this person as a child, and sort of set this pattern in motion in this individual's life, which says something like, it's safer to focus on building in the material world. This world of emotions is kind of an unsafe place, and what's happening now is, as this person goes into Hermit and is receiving downloads from Spirit and stuff, with the Hierophant energy and the Cup of Love, this Ace of Cups, it's almost like, let's not continue building in the material. Instead, let's focus on the emotional life, love, connection, and all this. Let's get through these illusions. Let's get away from confusion, lack of discernment. Let's forge some new pathways in the brain that are going to ultimately serve us better in the future going ahead as we build toward a Two of Cups. Let's lay the foundation in such a way that we can mitigate the risk of repeating this cycle here, right? We have somebody who's supposed to be loving and nurturing, taking care of the family, who through, for many different reasons, winds up hurting the people that they love the most. So I feel like that's kind of maybe what this energy is doing here. And I think the message of warning is, do the work. Don't avoid doing this work around restoring, rehabilitating your emotional life, your emotional well-being, your essential feminine nature, whether you're male, female, whatever, okay? taking care of the emotions is a really important part of becoming a whole person. Okay? All right, those are the messages. Thank you all for tuning in. Bye for now.